Hey guys, welcome to this free introduction to guitar soloing course. My name is George. If you haven't done so, please check out my other courses on here on Udemy, on many different websites, and check out my YouTube and Instagram. I also write a lot of my own music. So a little bit about me. I have been a session guitar player, independent artist for quite some time. I graduated with my degree in 2015 with classical guitar, and right after that I became a public school guitar teacher. I am from Texas. I live right on the border of Mexico and the US, so I write a lot of music in Spanish. Actually, that's all I write is music in Spanish. And I've worked with some pretty cool artists. One of them is Khalid, John Karpowicz, one of Carlos Santana's producers, Eric Bozeman's drummed for Rihanna, and a bunch of other musicians that I've collaborated with and done some really amazing things in the past. So the reason I'm making this course is because I wanted to share something that I'm really passionate about. I love writing guitar solos. I think it's really cool, and I don't think it's that hard to get started. So I wanted to make this course for free. I wanted you guys to learn something really awesome from it, get some great ideas, and start really building up your guitar solo chops with this course. Is it gonna be easy? Probably not, but you're definitely gonna learn quite a bit. So I hope you guys sit back and take it easy, grab your electric guitar, and get ready to learn some scales, a couple of licks, and a whole bunch of different techniques. Thanks. I'll see you in the first lecture. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm George, and this is Introduction to Guitar Soloing. Don't forget, guys, if you can leave me a 5-star rating once you're done, once you've gone through a bit of the course, that would really help the course. It is free. Check out some of my other courses as well. I bet you will like them. So we're going to be going over some fundamentals here. Okay, some real fundamentals. How do we sit? Just a really quick, brief overview. I love using guitar footstools. Okay, so I have one under my right leg pretty much at all times. I'm using a Fender Stratocaster. As you can see, she is absolutely beautiful. Love her. I'm using a very special fret wrap here that kind of stops string vibration that I don't really want. This is called a fret wrap from Groove Gear. Really like them. Check them out. And I'm plugged into a guitar amp that's connected to my computer. And so this is where you'll hear everything. I'm going to be playing everything super clean, no distortion, so it doesn't mess with any of I don't have to mess with the audio too much, or maybe something's not quite clear. It's going to be all clean. If you want to throw on distortion, by all means do it. I know how much fun it is. I love it too, okay? Don't get me wrong, I love it. So I want you to be able to sit up straight. I'm doing that right now. Sit up straight. A little tip, we're gonna bring our shoulders up, put them all the way back, and then relax them down. Let's see, any other tips? My thumb typically should stay in the back with the scales. Okay, when we're doing scales and faster stuff like that, we want the thumb in the back. When I'm doing bends and other different articulation, other different expression, the thumb coming out is, I prefer that. Is there a complete right and wrong way? Absolutely not. This is my opinion, and this is how I've learned best from everything. So I think you'll take a lot of great things from it. But of course, mold it to be your own. Okay, always be open to that, no matter what. Let's see, what else? I'm sitting up straight. We got a guitar pick. These are kind of the guitar picks that I use. It is a Jazz 3 Dunlop. I like these. I don't like the thinner, flimsy ones. They're just not for me. And so be ready to read a lot of tab. Be ready to just be ready to learn. It's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. I'll see you in our lecture on pentatonic scale positions coming right up. Hey guys, welcome to our first lecture. My name is George. I'm very excited to have you here. This is Introduction to Guitar Soloing. Now, what is very important before we get to learning bends, before we get to playing super fast and really cool stuff, is knowing what notes we can actually play. Okay, what notes can we play in a solo that sound good? Okay, that are what we call diatonic, meaning of the key. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off first with understanding our pentatonic scale in all different positions. The pentatonic scale has 5 notes. In our case, we're doing the A minor pentatonic scale. And there's a reason why. A minor has no sharps, no flats. It's in a good position of the fretboard. You're going to use it a lot as a guitar player. It's just a common key. And it's also just easy to move around regardless of what other key you want to play. If you want to play B minor, I can show you how to move it. Okay, it's not difficult at all. So we're going to start off learning the A minor scale in all positions. The notes in A minor, we have A, C, D, E, and G. We're missing B, and we're missing F. No B and F. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There's 7 notes. We're omitting 2, B, and F for the pentatonic scale. So we're starting off in the lowest position that we can. This is example 1. It's going to be down below. We're starting on the note E. E was one of the notes that we could use in the A minor pentatonic scale. So we're starting on that note because it's the lowest note that we can play on the guitar. Example 1 is, again, I'll remind you many times, this is all in A minor. We're going to play through it really slowly together, okay? It's going to be down here. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. All right, very good. This was example 1 of A minor. Still A minor pentatonic. We're just starting on the note E. We're gonna try that again, okay? Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Very cool. So some tips, I would say try alternate picking all the way through. Okay, practice your alternate picking down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, all the way through. We want to focus on that. Let's move on to example 2. So example 2, we start off here with a G note. Okay, and again, G was part of the A minor pentatonic scale. This is just a different position of the A minor pentatonic. We're going to start off with our second finger on the 3rd fret. This one's actually pretty easy, but it's a great workout between using the pinky and the second finger. You're going to see that a lot here. So example 2, let's play it together. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Awesome. Let's try one more time. Here we go. 1 and 2. Ready, go. Yeah. Okay, example 3. Example 3 is great because it is in root position. So now we're starting on A. We started on E first, and then we went to G, which was our second example. And now as we're progressing up, our next note would be A since it starts over in the alphabet. So we're starting on A. This is our root position. This is the most common position you will play. Okay, here we go. Let's try this out. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Let's try it again. 1 and 2 and ready, go. So just a reminder, we want to memorize these shapes. Okay, we definitely want to memorize them, and the way we memorize them is by playing them over and over with a lot of repetition. Okay, here we go on to example 4. We're starting on our second finger again, and we're going to see, because we go from A, we skip B, and we go to C, right? Just like we mentioned earlier. So here we go. Example 4 starts on the second finger, or starts with the second finger on the 8th fret. Here we go, guys. Let's try example 4. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Yeah, very, very cool. All right, awesome, guys. Let's try it one more time. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Awesome. Very good, guys. Let's go on to example 5. We're going to keep progressing here. Example 5 starts with our second finger, and now we are on the 10th fret. This one's probably the more difficult one out of all of them. Going from, if we look at the G and the B string, we have 9, 12, and then 10, 13. We do a little shift. From 9, 12 to 10, 13, 9, 12, 10, 13. And here all I do is I crunch up my hand a bit, crunch it up, so this way I'm in position for that 10. And then when I'm coming back down, I do the same thing. My pinky's in position, and then you just finish off pretty easy from there, okay? So that would be the most challenging part. Let's start example 5. Here we go. 1 and 2, ready and go. Awesome. Let's try it again. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Great job. Great job. And now, finally, we are on example 6. Example 6 is just one octave above the one we already did, example 1. So we're taking that, instead of the open string, it's got to be 12. Okay, so it's just one octave above. And after that, you can apply the rest of the scales further down the neck. So let's get through example 6 first. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Nice job. Let's try it again. Ready and go. So from here, from example 6, you can take the same pattern from example 2 and apply that on our next note here. So that would be 12, 13, 14, 15th fret. And we would do the same pattern as example 2. Of course, the frets are going to be different, but if you follow the same pattern, you'll notice that in example 2, we have middle, 4, middle, 4, first 4, first 4, middle 4, middle 4. If we take that and apply it up here to the 15th fret, middle 4, middle 4, same thing. Then if we keep going up, if we go to example 3, we're going to start on the next note here. We got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17th fret. Of course, you have to squeeze in a little bit more because the frets are smaller. So that is how you apply it everywhere you want. So step number 1, guys, you need to learn all of these positions. Not only learn them, but I want you to memorize them, okay? A great exercise to do is to do them back to back. So for example, if I'm doing example 1, I would go straight into example 2. Now example 3. So on and so forth until I reach every single scale and even come back down. So try that. This will help you really build on your alternate picking. It's going to help you memorize these patterns, and you're going to get ready for our next lesson. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'll see you on the next lecture. Hello, guys. Welcome to our next lecture. My name is George. We are here now learning 3 notes per string on the top 3 strings. So in our previous lecture, we learned about the pentatonic scale. I would suggest that you really learn the pentatonic scale, be really either memorized or really close to memorized before starting this one. So in this lecture, guys, we're going to talk about the natural scale. Okay, so in the pentatonic scale, we had 5 notes. We had A, C, D, E, and G. We're missing B, and we're missing F. In this lecture, we're going to be adding those notes now. Okay, now why are we adding them now? These notes are called tendency tones. Now, tendency tones tend to be a little more unstable. For instance, B wants to resolve up to C, whereas F wants to resolve down to E. They're only a half step away. E to F, F wants to resolve down, and then we have B to C. Here's an open B, and then to a C. Okay, you could kind of hear how there's a tendency to want to lean somewhere. So the pentatonic scale decided, hey, you know what? It's easier not to have these tendency tones. Now we're going to start adding them. Okay, we're going to start understanding the full extent as to what notes we can use. Now, all these patterns are very, very important. Okay, you can use every single one of these patterns if you want. You can solo only using the pentatonic scale and not use tendency tones, or you can use a whole bunch of tendency tones in our natural scale and not even worry about using pentatonic scale. But it's good to know both because both have very, very good sound, have different, you'll really find your voice. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to start off with our first one. We're going to start with A minor. Of course, we are in A minor. And we're starting here on our 2nd fret. And I like to use my 2nd and 3rd finger. And then the next string. And I do a little shift. Again. And then the last string we have 3, 5, and 7. And I'm using 1st finger, 2nd, and 4th. Let's try it together. Here we go. 1 and 2, and ready, go. Very good. And I know there's no resolution note at the end. There's no A at the end, 2nd fret, but we're just going to add that on each of these scales. Okay, we're just going to do that for right now. We're going to add the very beginning note that we started with. We're going to add it at the end of the scale. So let's go on to the next one. We've got B Locrian. So these are just modes and different positions of A minor. B Locrian starts on our 4th fret, and we're still using all the same notes, just starting on B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then we're gonna come right back down. Okay, here we go. Let's try B Locrian. 1 and 2, and ready, go. And again, try to end on that. The very first note that we started with, we're just gonna add that at the way end. All right, so the reason why we have such weird names here, we have Aeolian, Locrian, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, and then back to Aeolian. The reason why these names are so funny is because they come from the Greek modes, okay? And so this is just what they're called. I don't really think about modes when I'm playing. I think more of position, okay? So I'm still in A minor. I'm just in a different position of A minor, okay? So the way you look at it is depending on you. If you want to think about modes, that's fine. I personally think about different positions. I'm still here playing A minor. I'm just starting on B. But of course, you'll get into an argument with a guy on the internet saying that that's B Locrian. So, you know, you can approach it however you would like. Ultimately, it's what you want to do. So let's look at our next one, C major or C Ionian. Here we go. We got 5, 7, 9. And then the same kind of pattern. 6, 8, 10. Same pattern with my hand. And then we've got 7, 8, 10. Let's try it together. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Let's try it one more time. Ready, go. Perfect. And so just like we did with the pentatonic scales, one great exercise at the way end, we should combine them. Okay, let's see. So if we started with A minor, then going to B Locrian, and so on and so forth once you learn more, okay? Just as a heads up. Let's go to D Dorian now. D Dorian, we're starting on the 7th fret. And we've got 1, 2, 3. And then we shift up to 1 using our 1st, 2nd, and 4th, but we've got the fret 8, 10, 12. And then 8, 10, 12 again. So let's try it from the beginning slowly. Ready, go. Awesome. All right, let's go on to our next page. We have this really cool mode, my personal favorite, E Phrygian, or Phrygian mode in general. This one sounds very Spanish-like. You know, just pretty cool. Let's go ahead and start it. We got 9, 10, 12, 10, 12, 13, and then 10, 12, 13. Let's try it slow together. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Awesome. Cool. All right. F Lydian now. We're going to continue going up. Of course, all of these notes are all diatonic to A minor. No sharps, no flats. Pure awesomeness. We're going to go 10, 12, 14, and then we have a bigger shift than usual. We have a whole step shift up to 12, 13, 15, 12, 13, 15. Let's try it slowly together. Here we go. 1 and 2. Ready, go. Awesome. And again, I'm alternate picking everything. Down, up, down. It's a little bit different now because I have 3 notes per string. So it's down, up on the next string, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So the alternate picking can get a little bit more tricky than your pentatonic scale. That's why we started pentatonic scale first. All right, 2 more left, guys. We got G Mixolydian. We're starting on the 12th fret. And this one's really easy because it's the same pattern. We got 1, 2, 4, scoot up 1 fret, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. 12, 14, 16, 13, 15, 17, 13, 15, 17. Here we go, let's try it. 1 and 2, and ready, go. Nice. And last but not least, we have the A minor. This is the same one that we did over here, just taking it up the octave, okay? That's all it is. It's the same pattern. If you know that pattern, then you'll know this pattern, okay? No problem. We're just moving it up, again, the octave, okay? Let's try it out. Here we go. 1 and 2, and ready, go. Perfect, perfect. So watch. This is going to be our goal. Just like we did the pentatonic scale, back to back, each one, I want you to do that with this. I want you to be able to do this. So check this out. We got Aeolian. I want you to be able to do that. Doesn't have to be fast. No. Eventually, yeah, you do want to speed it up. But this is letting you get an idea of all different positions now. We're starting to really hone in on what notes we can use. Okay, once we understand what notes we can use, different patterns and different shapes, then we could start getting creative. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Hey guys, welcome back to our Introduction to Soloing Guitar course. I'm George. We're going to be going through in this lecture, going through finding all of our key notes. Now that you've learned all your pentatonic scale shapes, all of the natural scale shapes on the top 3 strings, we're going to go through what notes we want to focus on. Okay, what are some key notes that bring us back to home? Okay, so one of those key notes is going to be A. I want you to be able to find every single A. So we're going to try this. We're going to find A on the 6th string, 5th fret, open A, 7th fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G, 10th fret on the B, and 5th fret on the high E. I'm going to find a couple more that are a little bit higher. Let's see, we got 12th fret of the A. We did the D string, 7th fret already. Over here we've got the 14th fret of G. On the B string we had that 10th fret, we already did that. And we have this 5th fret on the E, but we also have it all the way up 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th fret on the E. These are all of our A's. Okay, I want you to be able to start locating them pretty quickly. Just getting an idea. Okay, we're not really going to play too much. We're just starting to recognize, okay, these are all of our A's. The next note I want you to find are all C's. Okay, we're going to start with the 8th fret of the low string. 3rd fret, next string. 10th fret, D string. 5th fret, G. 1st fret, B. And 8th fret, E. If we want to play some of the higher ones, let's see. We've got 15th fret, A, just an octave above. D, we're going to stay there on the 10th fret. On the G, let's see, we've got 14, 15, 16, 17 on G. We've got 13. This is an easy one to remember, one octave above. Of course, all of them are pretty much an octave above, but this one to me, it's just easier to remember since our 12th fret is here. And let's see, this really high one, we've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh. So it would be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20th fret, my mistake. All right, so now that we found all of our A's, all of our C's, of course, I don't expect you to remember them exactly right now, so that's why we go back and memorize them and practice it. We're gonna find all of our E's now. Open E, 7th fret, 2nd fret next string. We've got 9th fret, 5th fret, open. And then higher ones, we've got the 12th fret here. Let's see, we already did the 5th fret. We can go all the way up to the 17th. On G, we're gonna keep just that 9th fret right there. On D, we've got 14th fret. On the A, we had that 7th fret, and we have the octave 12th fret, open and 12. So these outline an A minor chord. These are gonna be some of our main notes. We're gonna find one more. We're gonna look for a G note everywhere. G 3rd fret. On the A string, 10th fret. On the D string, 5th fret. Then we have open G. Then we've got here 8th fret. 3rd fret. And we're gonna take it up. Let's see, we got the easy one, the octave. We've got 15th fret on the high E and 15th fret on the low E. These will be our main G's for this lesson. Okay, so right now I want you to start really recognizing all of these key notes that we pointed out in this lesson. In our next lesson, we're gonna start learning some more intense stuff, okay guys? So go ahead and practice all these scales and start getting a hang of, okay, I'm playing open A there, A there. There's your G, there's another one of my key notes. There's C, one of my key notes. A, there's a G. E, C, A, there's G, and E. So you'll notice that these 4 notes are very prevalent in our scale. We're just missing one note, D, and it's easy to connect the dots from there. So go ahead and memorize all of these key notes, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Hey guys, welcome to Introduction to Guitar. We are in our next lecture. I am George, and in this lecture, we're gonna talk about compressing the pentatonic scale. Now that you know all of your key notes, right? You know your pentatonic scale, you know your natural scale, and you know, like I mentioned before, you know your key notes. What we're going to do is we're going to start understanding how to compress all this. So what does that mean? Check this out. This is really, really cool. This might give you an aha moment. Okay, definitely it was for me. So I want you to go ahead and find A on the 7th fret of D. Now, what's cool about this is we can find all of our notes from here. A whole step under it is your G. There's your A. We have C, D, and E. So that's the entire, all the notes of the pentatonic scale. A, G, A, C, D, and E. You can start making a couple of licks with that. Now, the really big aha moment, check this out. You could see my pattern here. I got 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, shift, 1, shift, 3, 1, 3. If I do that exact same pattern on, say, another A, on the low A of my E string, same pattern, same sound, just an octave higher. I can even take it up here. Now, you're not limited to just that lick, of course. You can do... I kind of forgot that lick. Right? Something like that. But you can apply it on all these different positions now. So as long as you find this A, you can start knowing where all of our other notes are. A, okay, G's right under, A, C, D, E. If you want to try to do it on, let's say, this A, it's different because the interval from G to B is different, okay? It's a major third interval as opposed to the rest of the strings, which are perfect fourths. So basically, you have to treat the B string as one step higher. Or it's a step lower, but you're playing everything a step higher with B. So I'm using my second finger there, or you could shift. So I want you to start making all of these connections with these notes, find all of your A's, and come up with a lick there. Now, let's say our next note we were looking for was C. What if you did something like... We have... Oh, there's C. Start making these little connections everywhere through the fretboard. Notice that is the same shape as that. Also right here. You have to do open string though, but it's pretty much the same thing. Let's see, if we're gonna start on E now, you could do... These are simple, improvised ideas that I just had, just showing you how we can start connecting all of these. Is there a perfect way to do it? No, not necessarily. Use your ear. Your ear is very, very important in this stage. So find these little relationships between each note, and I challenge you to find your key notes and build a simple melody around each one, and then transfer it to the different positions of each one. So this will take some time, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is a lot of fun. This is time for a lot of self-discovery and a lot of wonderment, if you ask me. So I'll see you in our next lecture. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. Hey guys, welcome back to Introduction to Guitar Soloing. I am George. In this lecture, we are going to talk about vibrato, different kinds of vibrato. Sounds easy, but we're going to make it a little bit difficult and challenging. So check this out. You have different kinds of vibrato. If I'm going to start here on C. You have a rock vibrato, which goes down and up, or up and down, however you want to start. And you also have a classical vibrato, which pretty much goes sideways. It kind of shakes on one point of the string, not really moving anywhere, just shaking. Or there's your rock vibrato. The rock vibrato is just a little bit more intense, and the classical vibrato is a bit softer. Okay, the classical vibrato is meant for more sustain, and the rock vibrato is more for expression. Okay, so what we don't want to do is that kind of thing. You want to control it. I personally like wide vibrato and slow. So try this as an exercise. Take your scales that you know and apply some vibrato to them softly. So you can switch vibratos as well. Usually when I'm doing my rock vibrato, I'm up here. I'm doing licks like that, very bluesy style licks. If I'm doing longer notes, longer, prettier things, then I will definitely do a classical vibrato. Try them with the scales that you've been doing. Remember, my thumb is locked in and I'm just twisting my wrist, fluttering my wrist around. Whereas a rock vibrato, it's just a different feel. All right, very pretty. Vibrato can also be used if you have a whammy bar. That's a whole lot more. The cool thing about a whammy bar is it can go down in pitch and higher. Essentially, when you're doing vibrato, you're just going up and then back down to the pitch, up, down. With a whammy bar, you're going down and up. You're going like, if the pitch is right here, you're going like this. Whereas your standard vibrato without a whammy bar, or expression, tremolo arm, whatever you want to call it, will go like this. The notes here Once I stretch the string, it goes higher, regardless of the direction. But with the whammy bar, I can go lower and higher. With the whammy bar, you can also just have the option to go lower. That is just going under the pitch and then back up. So there's many types of vibrato that you can incorporate in these. I really like to turn on the gain and do... I like to watch Zakk Wylde. Zakk Wylde is one of my favorites. His vibrato is very intense, especially for rock and metal. But again, you know, you're not always going to use that. Go through these scales again and practice that classical vibrato and rock vibrato. And again, what we don't want is just sounds like someone's nervous or scared. So good luck with this, learning the vibrato. So far we've gone through pentatonic scales, natural scales, learning keynotes, applying a few licks, so you can apply this whole vibrato with these licks. Perfect, guys. So I can't wait to see what you do. Good luck with it, and I will see you in our next lecture. Hey guys, welcome back to Introduction to Guitar Soloing. I'm George, and in this lecture, we're going to be going through bends and other little tricks. Okay, what notes can we bend? So we've gone over pentatonic, everything that leads up to here. I want you to be able to find out what notes work best for your bending. Now, there's a couple of different ones that I prefer, and there's some that you might prefer. But let me show you the most common ones, okay? We're going to start on our 7th fret, D string. That's your root note, right? A. We have C here, and here's D. D can be bent up a whole step. That's one of your most common bends, period, of all rock and roll, blues. And you want to bend it reaching that note. That's the point of the bend. The bend brings a pitch upward. Now, there's different things you can do in a bend. You could do okay, many different ways to express a bend. You can also, if you bend a little bit less, you'll be hitting that note, and that is your blues note, so that works really well as well. Right there. Okay, so this is a very common bend because it's hard to mess it up. Okay, that's the point of the bend. We want to bend into a note that works. Okay, that's working with a style, with a scale, all of the above. Another note that I really like bending is this note. We have the 8th fret of the B string. This G is going to bend up to that A. And here I'm combining vibrato, what we learned, and the bend. So let's see, what else can we do with these bends? This bend, D, can do another little trick. We can play the pinky note, the 8th fret of the B string while we bend this, watch. It's a nice like country kind of thing. You can also do that with this 8th fret on the B string. you play the 8th fret of the E. Let's see, other notes to bend. You can bend this note a half step up. The E on the 5th fret. There's also an E on the 9th fret of G. Okay, all of these notes are really fun to bend. Let's see. I get more as I think about it. You can bend 7th fret, this B note, up to C. It's a nice kind of Latin bend. If I'm here with this A, that's where it works best, in my opinion, on the B string. Okay, so these are called double stops when we do hitting 2 strings at once. You can also do a bend and bar these 2 frets, well, the 5th fret, these 2 strings, and bend up the whole step. Okay, that's a very common bend kind of little lick there. And let's see, I think I'm pretty much all bent out. We can go to the 13th, 14th, 15th fret. This is also D. Anywhere you find D. There's your D. There's D. Here's D. I typically don't like bending the metal strings. That's just me. It's not a permanent rule, but you can totally do that. Very cool. There's the other D. You can also bend the half step up on this high E. And then, okay, so these are some of our main bends. So I challenge you to come up with a couple of licks. You can totally steal that lick. Just a little word of advice. The closer you are over here to the top of the guitar towards the nut, the harder it is to bend. The closer you are over here towards the middle, the easier it is. Okay, so you just got to be careful with how far you bend. You want to still bend to the right notes. Okay, we can do the whole step here, half step here, half step on the E, half step on the E over here. You can also do a half step on the D as well. Okay, so these are all my favorite bends, guys. I hope you learned something from this and create something of your own style. Maybe you find some bends that you actually like that I didn't even teach you. These are by far your most common bends. So experiment with a whole bunch, and I will see you for our next lecture. Hey guys, welcome to this introduction on guitar soloing. I'm George, and this lecture is going to be on hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. How do we use everything so far with what we've learned? Okay, so we've got first hammer-ons. Okay, what's a hammer-on? It's easier to show you rather than actually try and explain it. But what it is we pluck, and then with our left hand, another finger, we push down on the string to make that note sound. That is a hammer-on. Okay, so keep in mind, it is not plucking twice. It's pluck once. Okay, that is a hammer-on. Now, how do we use it? We can do it over our main position that we've been working on, 5th position. We have our root here. We could do sounds different than okay, so I challenge you. Try doing these pentatonic scales that we've already learned. Try doing them pure hammer-on. Now, the way we want to do them is really approaching the string with the tip of our finger. That's how we're going to make that sound. It's got to be right with the tip. Okay, very important that it's with the tip of the finger. The soft part here of the finger won't work. So if you're stretching and playing like this, it won't work. It's got to be with a tip. That's why we need to have this shape on our fingers. Okay, and so next we've got pull-offs. So pull-offs are the opposite of hammer-ons. We have, and so what I would do here is, it's like a snap. You snap your finger off the string while holding this finger down, a lower finger. Or it is a snap. Now you can combine the two without. And it's just about, remember, playing with the tip and then snap off. Now, don't worry if you can't get pull-offs right away. Pull-offs are pretty difficult. Okay, they are not easy. Hammer-ons are much easier to accomplish, but pull-offs are more difficult. So you can practice this by doing, again, our pentatonic scale shapes. If we did like how we did our root position A minor pentatonic, we can do all hammer-on, ascending. Now pull off, going back. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time. Nice. And try this with every single position. The harder part is doing the 3 notes per string stuff that we did earlier. Because here we're having to hammer on twice, right? We pluck once, hammer on, hammer on. And then try pulling off now. Next part. Pull-offs. And I did a slide there. Should have been that. And then keep going. And these I like to get really fast. Okay, so once I get very used to them, could do. Pretty cool. So this is what helps me achieve some pretty cool speed. Instead of having to alternate pick each note, To me, it's just a little bit easier to do. And to me, it sounds pretty cool. Okay, I like that sound. Now, let's go on to slides. Okay, what are slides? Let's say we're starting on the 5th fret. We're gonna slide up to our root. We're plucking on this note and just sliding up without plucking again. Try that example. Can even go higher. And slide down. You can even combine them. You could do slides up, double slide, or you can do hammer-ons. The right hand is the same, but the left hand is different. Same thing on my right hand. It's trippy, it's trippy. Then you could pull off. Different ways to combine all of it, okay? The slides I don't use too much. I like how they sound when you're playing a solo and you descend on a scale. So if I was doing something like, and that's kind of a combination of both, right? I'm sliding up, pull off, slide, slide again, and then hammer on. Let's try that example. Very cool. So I hope you guys use these tools to make solos of your own, and hopefully this gave you a lot of ideas to be creative. Okay, be your own creative, be your own writer, all of that good stuff. So good luck, and I will see you in the next lecture. Welcome to Introduction to Guitar Soloing. I am George, and this is our final lecture. We will be figuring out on putting it all together. I hope you've enjoyed this course, and these are just pretty much my final thoughts on putting everything that we've learned, all of our pentatonic scales, our natural scales, the different techniques, finding key notes, vibrato, bends, hammer-ons, pull-off slides, all of this together. What are some things we can do? Some of my last minute ideas, okay? So of course we went over, let's look at that lick. That's easy, and it's all hammer on and then vibrato at the end. G to A, and we finish on C. Okay, and these are pentatonic notes. We've also got, we can do stuff like, so this is incorporating half step bends on the D, and then back down on A. We can do so these are bends with a double stop. It's close to being a double stop at least. Double stop is more when you hit two notes at the same time. You can do that still. Let's see, we've got this bend. Okay, and I love vibrato at the way end. We can go ahead and add these quick scales that we talked about. And I really like to start ahead of the beat with them and then make my way into something melodic. Okay, so that's always a really nice opener, to start off with something really fast and then slow it down. Show the audience that you can throw something in that's very melodic. We can also take scales starting from our root, whether it be C or A. We'll start with C, and then we can slide down on each of them. Now starting on A. We can find, let's see, we can find A over here on the E string, high E. And the finger switching is totally up to you. I'm doing what feels right for me, and, you know, in the heat of the moment. You can stick to one finger. You can do different things right there. Also, if we combine really quick hammer on and pull off, we create trills. One pretty cool thing is going up the scale. My bad. And then going back down. Okay, if we started from up there again. And all hammer on, pull off. All right, guys, so that is pretty much all of my final thoughts, all of, you know, the tips that I can give to you for our introduction to soloing. I hope this helped, and please check out my other courses. I have other courses. Check out YouTube, check out Instagram, and I'll see you guys over. Thank you so much for participating in this course. I hope you had as much fun as I did. This is a totally free course, and I bet you anything you learned quite a bit, or at least you learned some different ideas that you can apply to your playing today. I'm just gonna ask you for one favor. Go ahead and rate this course 5 stars. Shoot a comment. I'm very open to answering some questions. If I can help you with anything, please do so. I am here to really help. Follow me on YouTube. I'll leave all the links there on my instructor profile. And follow me on Instagram as well if you want to see some more. Okay, so check out some of my other courses. Don't forget that. And hopefully I will see you there. Take care.